Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Season 25 for Diablo 3. When does it start? What are the new rewards and other things you can get in the upcoming Season 25? And basically, what's new? So this video is going to cover all of that. But starting right off, a lot of you guys want to know, when is the season starting? It's actually starting really soon. It's next week. December 10th at 5 p.m. at PST. But basically, here's what is going to be in this season. So what is the season theme? There are these new legendary soul shards that would be equipped in wherever you could normally put a gem in your weapon as well as in your helmet. You're going to have 7 new things to acquire and you'll be able to upgrade these. Here's kind of what they do, and I say kind of because they have been buffed and nerfed in different aspects. But basically, you throw them in just like you would a gem in your weapon or your helmet. It's going to give you a massive amount of damage as well as survivability and lots of different other things. But on top of that, let's go ahead and go over the rewards for the season, because that's the whole point of hopping into a new season, is not only playing the newer things, but on top of that, being able to get some awesome rewards. So here are the rewards. So we do have some cosmetic rewards. Some of these are going to be recycled, just as a heads up, but there is new rewards here, and this one looks pretty cool. You can see there's a Pain of Tristram portrait and the Dark Lordling pet. So you get a new pet as a reward and you get a new portrait. I actually do think that portrait looks quite cool. But then on top of that, you do have the ability to get some of the old recycled stuff that maybe if you didn't get, you can still get in this season. Now on top of that, this is what is going to be required for the season journey rewards. Most of these are really easy, and this can actually unlock an extra stash tab, so that's actually quite nice to have. These are super easy to do as you just play the game. You'll eventually get most of these done, like doing a torment. This is 13 and under 5 minutes. That's easy. 60 solo, because you're going to want to do a GR70 so you can get the primals. You got Sedea. Like, most of these are really easy. Reforge a legendary set item. Augmenting is going to be very easy, because what you can do is augment your gear with the new legendary soul shards when you start upgrading them with the Hellforge Ember. So basically, when you get these new soul shards, they're only going to have a few effects, but you can upgrade them several times, and as you upgrade them, they're going to have more extra bonus stats. And when you put them into the Kanai's Cube, you can actually augment your gear with what would be a level 125 gem. It's actually really good for any of you guys that normally don't augment your gear in Diablo. This is going to be very easy to augment your gear. And a lot of people that maybe normally wouldn't be able to complete 150s, if you grind a little bit, you can definitely do it. Now, in terms of getting all these extra stash tabs, one thing that is nice is they show off what the conquests are. So you're going to have to complete these. These are actually super easy to do this season, and we'll go over the different sets here. But you just need to complete 2 of them. The ones that I would say are probably going to be the easiest are going to be doing a Greater Rift level 75 solo, as well as just doing the Reach Greater Rift level 45 solo without any set items equipped. So this is LON, LOD, really easy to do, especially with the new soul shards. This is going to be super easy. And then obviously the Hadri's Gift. Everyone wants to know, what are you going to be starting out with? Here are the options for our classes. So with Barbarian, we have the Might of the Earth. With Crusader, we have the Thorns of the Invoker. Demon Hunter gets the Shadow's Mantle. This actually does get a buff. If you guys are wondering, what is the recommendation, at least, for me to give you guys, what's going to be the most fun? Demon Hunter with the Shadow's Mantle took a buff. You're going to be able to do more damage to other enemies with your Impale. And so this will be a little bit more fun. There's actually a legendary soul shard. When you kill an enemy, it's going to do the damage that you dealt as the killing blow to enemies around it. And that could be pretty cool. So the Shadow's Mantle is definitely going to be something that does get quite a bit of a buff. And then there's the Monk, the Monkey King's Garb. Then we have the Necromancer, Grace of Anarius. Witch Doctor gets the Raiment of the Jade Harvester. And then with the Wizard, we're going to get Firebird's Finery. Now, this took a nerf and a buff, technically. They nerfed it really hard, then they brought it back up. But there's really nothing too new for the Firebirds set, because they're making it so like the pets don't really work with it. But pretty much what it comes down to is the Witch Doctor as well as the Demon Hunter are probably going to be your go-to choices. They even put it, if you look at the very top of the post with all of the patch notes, which we'll go over here, they show off the Demon Hunter as well as the Witch Doctor in the picture, because those are going to be the classes that I would recommend for you guys to play, just because there's actually new content with them. Witch Doctor gets so many new tools to play around with, and it has a new Spirit of Arakir build that's actually pretty cool. If you guys do want the build, it's exactly the same as the PTR. I'll pin this down below, but you can hit for billions of damage already, and then they decided, let's go ahead and buff it even further, which is awesome if you guys are Witch Doctor fans. But there's actually a few buffs for the Demon Hunter as well with the build with the sentries, because it's a marauder build and basically they're going to fire off on their own. So I would highly recommend, if you guys haven't played Diablo and you want to play something new this season, Demon Hunter and the Witch Doctor are going to be my go-to choices as suggestions. There is a pet monk build that can be quite good as well. It was doing GR 150s. There's a thing that you can do with a pet, with a gem, which is strange that they didn't actually mention nerf. I think it was a bug, but if it's not a bug, then literally anything with pets is going to do a huge amount of extra bonus damage. So basically go over these soul shards. I kind of basically went over it. There's 7 new gems. Here are the gems. Feel free to pause. I'm actually just going to recommend you guys to watch another video because I'll go over like kind of how they work more in depth. And some of these numbers, keep in mind, even in my video, they're going to be nerfed because we don't have the newest patch notes. So here are the patch notes for these soul shards. So the Sliver of Terror and the Shard of Hatred, these were the only 2 that people were using. The other ones, therefore, maybe people that want to do something more niche, or if you want to play a support build, which, you know, most people that play solo, they just want to go and slam and do, you know, massive amounts of damage versus playing in a group. Then these are going to be your go-tos, and they got significantly nerfed. They just got cut in half, basically. So with Sliver of Terror, which used to be the hands down the best one, but after it got nerfed, everyone moved to Shard of Hatred, but then Shard of Hatred got nerfed, and it's still, these 2 are still definitely going to be the best ones though. So the base power, this is half of its half now, because they originally had it doubled of what it used to be, but now it's 12.5%, and then with the additional powers, our attack speed and crit hit chance are increased by, it used to be 7, and now it's 5, so that's almost cut in half as well. And then we still happen to have the additional, like, you know, fire ring. This was actually 50 enemies, but now it got nerfed, so it requires you to kill 100 enemies for this Ring of Fire. This Ring of Fire is insane, though. They didn't nerf the damage on it, but it requires you to kill a bunch more enemies. This little Ring of Fire that can spawn in will absolutely obliterate any tier of the Rift Guardians in just a few seconds. It's really good, but it's kind of hard to time to get that to work, but nonetheless, it's still very, very powerful. With the Shard of Hatred, we basically got the damage cut in half, so you get, instead of 10%, it's 5% increased damage per enemy up to a maximum of, instead of 100, now it's 50. And then with the bonus, it used to be a maximum of 150, but now it is 100. So instead of it being 150, it's 100 now. So it's another nerf on top of more nerfs. So unfortunate for the Shard of Hatred. The rest of the gems, though, they didn't get really changed too much except for Dregs, which used to be one of the best ones, but now it has actually been nerfed as well. So the other gems did not get changed. Again, if you guys want to watch the video that goes over all of the effects, I'll pin it down below, but the things in red are the things that are going to be changed. So Dregs of Lies got nerfed in half, so instead of dealing, well, you deal 25% less damage, but that doesn't count technically other things that activate on your bonus damage, so it's just going to be it used to be just more damage over here. So our pets deal 50% more damage, but now it's 25% increased damage. I know it sounds weird that you deal 25% less, but then you get an increase. So the other, like, pets, for most builds, there could be some weird interaction with certain pets or certain things that could proc a chance to summon a pet, but for the most part, how it works is you don't actually, your pets don't actually lose this 25% less. It's you that's dealing the damage is going to be less, so it is technically still an increase, if that makes any sense, because you would think that it cancels each other out, but nonetheless, each time our pet hits an enemy, it used to be 1% increased damage, but now it's 0.5%, and then it still stacks up to 100 times, but when you reach 100 stacks, it does reset itself. This is really good for the Witch Doctor. When you summon all these little spiders and they keep attacking super, super fast, it's going to ramp up that damage. Technically, every build that does use pets got a nerf, but Witch Doctor actually gets a buff, which we'll go over in a second here. So the rest of the gems have not been changed. In terms of items, there is one cool change. This is not anything new, particularly today, that got updated with this latest blog post with the announcement of Season 25's launch, but the Depth Digger Pants, they have it so the primary skills deal additional damage, and this works with all of the resource generators. It used to be anything that would generate resource, but that could be cool for more niche builds, but there are some new things with Witch Doctor. Again, in the video, I'll go over everything, but I just wanted to go over this because this is the newer changes, because I already went over this, and it goes over the new Spirit of Aracur set bonus. So you get a huge amount of extra damage, so 7,000 extra damage, 7,500 extra damage. So it used to be 17,500 and now it's 25,000 extra bonus damage to basically corpse spiders. Technically adds to these other things, but if you're playing the Spirit of Aracur build, you're using corpse spiders for the most part. But that's the only build that really got a nice little buff. Demon Hunter, nothing really got changed, but I mentioned that the Shadows build is going to be fun because it does 25,000% bonus damage to subsequent enemies. This is just straight up a buff, and on top of that, like I said, there is a gem. It's something that can roll on it. It's like when you eliminate an enemy, the damage that you deal as the killing blow will deal that damage around. And since this build hits really hard on a single target, you can explode and then they're all going to all take the damage, and it's awesome. But in terms of Necromancer, this technically did get a buff, but it's not anything I would say that's too new other than just a flat number increase. I mean, it is a decent amount though, for sure, but it's not like it used to be. The old the Bones of Wrathmaw Army of the Dead build was super fun, but it only lasted on PTR, then it got changed. And then Firebirds, it doesn't work for pets like I mentioned before, so it's basically kind of a nerf and a buff in another way, because they did nerf the damage originally, but then they rebuffed it back up. So that's basically what it comes down to. If you guys haven't seen gameplay, I'm just going to play some gameplay real quick so you can see how insanely powerful these soul shards are. This is a GR75, which would be the equivalent of a T16, and I don't even have any gems in this build. Like in terms of, I have the legendary soul shards, but no like gems in terms of like upgrading my, like, you know, the gems that you would normally get, the legendary gems. Like, and I was blasting through content super fast. Like, these new soul shards, guys, are going to make it so much fun to play. If you haven't played Diablo in a while, especially the one where you deal the killing blow, if you're interested in doing like T16 speedruns, you can do it with basically any build, and it's super awesome. Now, if you guys do want the Witch Doctor build, I mean, we're hitting for billions and billions of damage. Remember, this is getting buffed as well. Technically, it's also getting a nerf because they nerfed like the legendary gem, but this is the new Witch Doctor build. It's really fun as well. But anyways, guys, I'm curious to know, what class do you guys actually plan to play with this upcoming season? For me as a content creator, I'll end up probably dipping into all the classes, but in terms of what I want to start off with, 100% Demon Hunter, because I never really got a chance to really min-max on the Shadow build on the PTR, so I'm going to play an Impale Shadow Demon Hunter, and then I'm probably going to go into the build with these sentries, and I'll maybe mess around with Witch Doctor because they did technically get a buff, and I might as well see how high we can push with it. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new and want to see more updates on Diablo as well as other games, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and definitely give you guys another update when the game launches with maybe some builds very soon. But take care. I'll catch you guys in the next vid, and I'm out. Peace.